All right, what is poppin', people? It's your boy, Juice, back at it again. You already know. Hey, yeah. So I've been wanting to make this video for a minute now. I've been going through my little travels and shit, my experiences and whatnot in the trades. Specifically, this is pertaining to electricians. All right, that's what I'm doing right now. So hopefully, that's what you're doing. If not, though, I think it'll probably still kind of hopefully help you out a little bit. But we're about to be talking about something I actually already done before, which is union versus private work. You know what I'm saying? Private contractor work. And the reasons I picked which one I picked, and like the reasons I didn't pick the one I didn't pick, you know what I'm saying? And I got a little bit more experience now, a little bit more knowledge, whatever, on the two and the differences, because I've gone through the processes of both, and I just want to give my thoughts on what I think about both of them. You know what I'm saying? And just for the preface, I am in a private contractor apprenticeship right now. I'm working with a locally owned person that's not affiliated with the union, right? And I'm gonna tell you how I got to that point and why I came to that decision and why I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna start off with the union. All right. And why I like the union, because I ain't out here trying to hate on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to spread no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be 100 and give a full reason. Give a full reason on give a full explanation on the benefits and the non-benefits, the pros and the cons. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that while I'm sewing. Hopefully, I can do that at the same time. We'll see, though. It's kind of a lot. But starting with what I like about the union, which is... Damn, bro, hopefully my roommate's songs don't start coming out in the background. But if they do, I'll try and mask it. But at the same time, I'm not about to spend too much time on the editing, because that's why I don't do too many videos anyway. But reasons why I like it. The union. Comprehensive, and this is the main reason, honestly. This is probably the only reason, but comprehensive and thorough training in school. You know what I'm saying? You get a full detailed breakdown on all of your training and what you're going to do, what you're going to learn, a timeline of what you're going to learn. It's a lot. It's pretty nice to have that going into it, and knowing where you're going to come out at the end of 4 years. And I'll get to that about the private stuff, but that is like one of the main things that drew me to the union initially. And I do still say that at the end of the day, the union probably does have a better training regime, whatever. And you'll probably be a little bit more solid in your understanding of what you're doing at the end of everything, depending on the type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? But for most people, you're probably going to have a more solid understanding at the end of the union training versus private contractor training. But let me see where I can start here. Let's start at the bottom. Start from the bottom over here. That's gay. But so that's like the main thing for the union that I really like, is just the training. And then I mean that's what you're going to any place that you're going to be working for. Anyway, is the training, right? Is to learn how to do what you're doing. So that's probably like the biggest thing, and that's like the main reason I went to the union, right? The next thing that I like about the union is you're gonna get guaranteed work anywhere in the country most of the time, right? Through the union, if you're paying your dues and stuff like that, you're gonna be able to go, move to a new state or whatever, go to the local and be like, yo, you throw in your resume or whatever, put in your application, and more chances than not, you're gonna have a job within the week or next week or whatever. You don't got to worry about going anywhere to get work, right? So that's a big plus, right? That's a massive plus. You basically have a countrywide organization that will employ you at any time as long as you're like paying your dues and stuff. So I think that's like probably one of the main things most people like about the union. Besides, which I'll get to next time, or next thing here, the benefits, right? You get a lot of good benefits. I think you get like good health care, insurance and stuff like that. I think you get sometimes like some discounts at some places. And like that's like one of the big pluses is the benefits, health insurance. Just the brotherhood and stuff like that. I think, the think about the union, like the other benefits that would come with having like a large group, which I already like listed them, which is the training and the guaranteed work everywhere. Those are also added benefits. But then there's like the stuff I just said, which is insurance, stuff like that. Which, when you're young, do you really give a fuck about that? I don't that much, really. And that's kind of like where my list of things that I like about the union ends. Comprehensive training, guaranteed work, for the most part, and benefits, right? And I really did try to come up with more things I liked about the union, just because I didn't want to sound like a straight-ass bitch, you know what I'm saying? But that's about as much as I could come up with, right? And not to shit on them. That's a decent pluses, decent pros, right? But now I'm gonna get into why I don't like the union. And the first thing is nepotism. Okay, I've been around the trades a decent amount of time, literally my whole life, so decent amount of time, and this seems to go through every union, whether it's carpentry, plumbing, electric, HVAC, most of them, even the painting. I don't know, painting and drywalling. I'm not entirely sure, but it seems to be a recurring theme. And I don't want a blanket statement, but it's a recurring theme I've noticed, that talking to people in the union, have been in the union, or know people in the union, the only way it seems, or the main way it seems that you get into a union is by knowing and having a connection with someone in the union. And I don't fuck with that at all. At all. That's like a huge thing that I hate about a lot of things in the world, which it's it's just kind of a thing that it is. Obviously I'm gonna want to try and help the people that I know and my family and stuff. So it's understandable to an extent, you know what I'm saying? And the extent seems to be surpassed with the union that I'm comfortable with, you know what I'm saying? So that's like one of the big things. Next thing, strikes. You don't have an option to opt out of the strikes unless I think you just get kicked out of the union or something, if you don't. So like, if there's a beef, you're kind of shit out of work for at least till the beef is settled, you know what I'm saying? So it's like and you never know when that could happen. And I don't think it happens too much, but it does happen. And that's not sick at all. That's not cool. I don't fuck with that. But I understand why it's a thing. It helps the gang, and it's like the brotherhood and fucking gay ass shit, dude. Bro, dude, some people really take the brotherhood super, super hard. Like they get tats on their arm and shit, and like, yeah, bro, like that shit's pretty gay. I'm not gonna lie. But moving past that, I'm gonna try and make this quick. Dues, I don't like the dues, bro. Like, I feel like my time enough, my hours enough should be due. Like the dues enough. It's like, it's like you're working for a company that you have to pay to work for. And yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. So it's like you're basically like, this is like a third party that you're supporting. That's like, and I know it's probably not like a shitload of money, I don't know, but it's still like fucking taxes, it's a government that you're working for, and it's like, yeah, this is just me. I fuck the government, bro. Fuck the feds. Less government is better. And I'm gonna skip over a couple just because I'm on that subject. But politics, dog. I went to the union. I guess it was during the political season, the election season, and they had fucking Biden-Harris shit signs hung up like all around, like right as you walk in the door. They had a stack of them that you could take, and bro, it's like, I don't like, it's alright, if you're talking with the homies or whatever at work about politics or whatever, but I mean, genuinely probably want to avoid that type of shit if you gotta work with someone, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's like you both agree and stuff, then it's like whatever. But like kind of harping on that shit, and like the organization that you work for being openly political, and then also knowing that my money is going to that organization, not cool. And I don't even if it was even if it was like the party that I did support, I would have to be still like, yeah, it's like, okay, cool, but at the same time, like, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the other people, and it's like not cool, not dope. So it's like, that's kind of a big thing that like hit me literally right in the fucking face. But it's whatever, I guess. If this is just my personal thing. Second, or the next thing I want to touch on is the hiring process, at least specifically for the apprenticeship program. Fucking whack, bro. And I guess this is gonna be the longest part, because dude, I spent literally a year going through the hiring process. And I'll break it down, which is you got to submit an application, right? Which is a huge fucking thing. Yeah, you have to go in, get the application. I filled it out at the union building the first time I grabbed it, but it's a fucking like half-hour thing, like if not more. So much fucking bullshit that you need. And then you need like your high school transcripts. You need a whole lot of shit just to apply. And then once you apply the first time, you have to go and take a math test, which I believe you have to pay for, or at least you have to pay to study and prepare yourself for, which that's like $300. Which actually, I will give you a little tip if you're gonna do this. You can go on to the website that like they have to train you or whatever at the union, and then you can like you have to pay to take the pre-screening or whatever the schooling. But a majority of that $300 or whatever is actually just for the textbook, which you can get free online. So you just have to pay like $50 for the class or something. But they don't tell you that up front, and it's kind of like hidden in the transaction process. So you can just be like, yep, I don't want the book. Just give me the course, take the test, take the lessons, which most of the answers you can find online, fairly easy. And then you're allowed to go and take the test at the school, which is fucking pain in the ass. Got to take a day off of work, and then it's like a big math test. There's like a reading comprehension, which is fairly easy, but it's the math part that's annoying. And the class that they give you to online to do before the actual test basically covers none of the second half, like 30 third of the fucking test. There was just shit that was just not at all in the program on the test. That just catches you straight off guard. And if you don't know like anything about math, like that's like, oh, I mean, shit, bro, you're kind of fucked. And it's like, you know, construction, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the kids aren't like the greatest algebra dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like that's probably why you're in the trades, because the school stuff probably ain't your thing. But I passed first try, I guess. But the other thing is, they didn't tell me my score. They won't tell you your score. Even if you pass, they don't tell you the score or the shit that you got wrong to try and help you do better next time. They say, nope, you failed, or yep, you passed. Now you can get to the interview. Which is fucking bullshit, okay? Just fucking bullshit, okay? And then going on to the interview, so that process up to the test is about a 6-month process from putting in your application to actually getting to your test. That's about a 6-month process. And then you go to the interview, which from the test is another 3 months. So that's like half your fucking year just for an application. So then you get to your interview, which is sitting in front of like a group of like 6 people that each ask one fucking question that seems like they just fucking took it off what do I ask in an interview on a Google search. Like, it's just the most basic fucking questions, like, oh, what would you do if it rained outside? Like, or how do you work in like adverse conditions? Like, oh, how do you be part of a team? It's just the most brain dead fucking questions that have literally nothing to do with electricians or the work that you're going to be doing. And it just makes no fucking sense. And then you have to like go do that. It's a fucking 15-minute thing that they make you wait 3 fucking months for. And then once you do that, they're like, oh yeah, we'll be in touch. And then you'll get like a piece of mail like a month later that says if you made it into the top 25 out of like however many people applied. And if you don't make it into the top 25, you're basically fucked. And even if you do, if you're in like the bottom 25, the next round that comes around of people doing the interviews, you could get bumped out of the top 25. So you just did all that work. So you have to keep doing the interviews and keep getting in front of these people as many times as you want. But they won't tell you how to do better in the interview, other than like getting electrician experience and like I guess OSHA certifications. So, which costs money, or you have to find a job that has electrical experience, which you need electrical experience to usually get into. So that's fucking retarded, in my opinion. Because there's a lot of kids my age and younger that would love to get into this shit. And I mean, it's just such a huge fucking task to get into it that it would deter a lot of people. I went through the process twice. I got into the interview twice, and maybe I should try a third time. You know, third time's a charm. But it's like, fuck, bro. On top of all the other stuff that I already talked about, like with all the other stuff that I talked about, it's like I don't even really want to, because going into the other stuff, like another point I put was communication. But I think you just understand the type of communication I'm talking about. They don't have fucking communication at all. They ain't here to help you. It's a government. It's a fucking corporation. They're not here to help you or want you. You're just another cog that maybe you gotta prove yourself as worthy to be put into the machine. Which, fuck that. That's fucking bullshit. And that touches on this next thing, which is the attitude. Is they don't fucking value you. You're just another motherfucker. There was people with graying hair sitting in the interview waiting room. So I'm competing with like 50-year-old motherfuckers for an apprenticeship, dog. What? Like, what? And where are these motherfuckers when I'm in school? You know what I'm saying? In high school. Why aren't they recruiting? Why do I have to do all this fucking work just to work for you? Yeah. And then the pay scale, you start off lower, but they say it's like, oh, it's because of benefits. Fuck your benefits, dog. Why do I give a fuck about health insurance when I'm fucking 20 years old? Or whatever the fuck other benefits you give me.
Fuck you, dude. I don't want benefits. Give me some fucking money. How about that? That's a fucking benefit. That's the whole reason I'm here. Making me some fucking money. So, suck my fucking dick, union. I didn't even mean to get all up in it, but it's like, damn, bro, that shit's so annoying.
Test. Alright, cool. Alright, so now we're going to be getting into the private company incorporation, which I have literally done nothing on this, these pair of pants that I'm making right now. But that's alright. For the gang. Alright. So, the private contractors, which is, I'm not going to lie, I have a bias because most of the work I've ever done is for private contractors and people that own their own company, and you work alongside the owner of the company. So I will acknowledge that I do have a bias, and that's probably part of the reason I came to the decision that I've made, which is to work for a private contractor in my apprenticeship. And I'll again start off with why I like them and why the benefits or pros or whatever you want to call it. First one being, I like being part of a family, not a brotherhood. I like being part of a gang. You know what I'm saying? The squad. 5 people, 6 people, 7 people. That's nice. You get to know everyone. And you get to fucking be brothers more than you would with thousands of people across the country. You get to be tight. You trust each other fairly quick. You get to know each other fairly quick, and I fuck with that. You get a direct relationship as well with the owner of the company usually, which I also really appreciate, because end of the day, bro, like, I'm not here to just be an electrician forever. I'm here to own my own business and to build things. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I chose to be an electrician is because I noticed in my ventures of building, and contracting with just regular contractors and remodeling homes and stuff like that, building homes, that an electrician was hard to find and usually was expensive, and it was just really annoying to work with because they have so many people banging the line all the time that it's like, if I ignore you, it don't really matter because I'm going to just have another motherfucker hit me up in the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what's going to help me pretty heavy if I'm building houses, remodeling them? Probably if I can just pull permits for electrician work, and I can just do the more work I can do myself, which I can do framing, I can do drywall, I can pour concrete, I can paint, I can fucking trim, do finished carpentry and stuff like that. I can put floors, I can roof, bro. Yeah, bro. Like I can do a decent little bit of stuff, right? That don't take a license, right? So it's like, can't really do plumbing, can't do HVAC, and I'm sure I'm like not thinking of something else. I do have my contractor's license, so I can pull permits on 1 to 2 family dwellings, so that's sick. But I'm sure I'm thinking or forgetting something else. But electrician is what I kind of sat with because it's also a little bit, I don't know. It's just what I sat with. I got my own reasons, right? I don't gotta go all up in that. But back to the owner and why working for a private company, you get a good relationship with the owner of the company, and you get to see, which is another point, how to run your own business and how to prepare for that, and you get to see the struggles, and you can talk to them, and they include you because you're part of the gang. He relies on you to put food on his plate as much as you rely on him to put food on your plate. You know what I'm saying? So you're tight, and you get to know like what's going on. You get to be part of the conversation on job sites. And obviously, I'm like the new guy, so I don't get that much, but I still do get to sit and like listen and like understand what's going on. It's if you're a friendly motherfucker, you usually can get tight with the owner, and you just learn shit that's more than just electrician work. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, and I fuck with that heavy. and that's another big plus for private company, private contractor. If you have bigger aspirations than just being an electrician, which is fucking fine if you don't, bro. But it's just my personal preference. Second, higher pay. I got started off at a higher pay because I talked to the guy and I told him my experience and I explained what I've been doing for the past 25, 26 years of my life. And he's like, all right. And you kind of know what's going on a little bit. So I'm not going to start you off at a fucking unlivable wage for an adult. And here you go. I got a little bit more than what union starts at, a couple bucks more. And I'm scheduled for a pay raise in a couple months or whatever, and we'll see how that goes. So that's tight. I think I already touched on this kinda, but feeling wanted and appreciated because you're part of the gang, and again, you put food on his plate as much as he puts it on yours. So that's also a very fucking nice thing, not to feel like another just cog in the machine, and not even just a cog in the machine. It's a cog that you gotta prove yourself that you're worthy of the machine. Fuck that shit, dude. Fucking whack. More relaxed a little bit, right? Because you're more low key gang, and you don't got usually. I mean, you do sometimes have like bigger contracts and stuff like that, but I mean, when you're working local, you're working with local teams. Union take all the big jobs for the most part, unless you're one of like the two super big commercial non-union corporations. Like here, it's Stevens in Wisconsin, or Madison in this area, is the non-union, and then Findorf is the union. But that doesn't really matter. It's a little bit more relaxed in my experience. Because you're working with the owner and you have an open line of communication and you know what's going on and he knows you, and if you're a trustworthy motherfucker and you're just good, you're good shit, then you can afford to be a little bit more relaxed. Quicker learning and a wider range of learning, I think, in my experience. Like right now, I've learned a lot of commercial stuff, and then I switch over to residential like a couple days. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be working strictly residential. So I've been able to get a concept in my just first month and a half of like a full range of what an electrician can do. And I think when you're in the union, you can only pick to be like a residential worker or a commercial worker, and that's like where you kind of like end. And just in this little amount of time that I've worked, I've been doing a lot of different shit, and they do tell me it's like, we don't normally do this. This is kind of like a, occasional thing of pulling these big ass fucking wires and like working outside to like put in these industrial HVAC units and stuff like that. So but that's just like a plus to me. I think that's super sick that I can work on some stuff that like, maybe I'm not going to do that often, but I still get an understanding of it and I still get to see what it is, So that's dope as fuck to me. And also with the quick learning, because I don't have as structured, which I'll get into, of a learning process. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing in the next like 4 years or whatever exactly. I have a basic understanding, but it's not like all spelled out for me like it is in the union. But in that, you kind of get thrown into it a little bit more, and you got to learn quick. And if you got to force yourself to be like ready for that. You gotta be ready for that if you're gonna want to last. So, I mean, I've been taking extra supplements for my cognitive abilities and stuff like that, and staying structured, staying locked in, sleeping, eating, all that type of stuff, and like thinking forward, to make sure that I am 100% prepared for the day. So that's fucking dope, bro. That's good. That's a good thing that you should probably do. Regardless of what you're doing. That's about it for the pros. There's a lot of pros, in my opinion, but those are like the main ones that came to mind. And then ending it off, the cons that I have with working private. And again, I did try. I'm not trying to be 100% biased. Did try to come up with more, but I came up with literally 2. Less structure. It can be dope. It can be a blessing, and it can also be a curse. Some of the motherfuckers out here that I gotta train from, they ain't ever had to work with the motherfuckers inexperienced as me, so they ain't knowing how to train and stuff that well. So they're, as much as I'm learning, they're learning too a little bit. But I've had that conversation, and he understands that, and I understand that, and that's the thing with like being in a private, like being in a low key, like smaller group. You can have that open communication. You don't gotta worry about like some higher ups getting involved, because that shit don't work when a motherfucker that ain't in the situation with y'all is trying to tell you how to be the situation. So that's dope. And also, you probably should learn how to communicate better, or at least focus on that, because a lot of these old head ass motherfuckers don't know how to do that. So you have to over communicate, ask more questions than what you think you would need, and like damn near repeat the shit that he just said back to you like a couple times just to make sure. So that's like kind of difficult, but at the same time I see that as a plus. But I did need to have like some cons, so I didn't look like a complete bullshitter. So there's that. And then I guess less benefits, maybe not as good of insurance, but at the same time, dog, I ain't ever had insurance at most of the jobs I've had, so it's like this one does, so that's sick. But I guess it's not as good as the union or some shit. But I don't really give a fuck. So that's not really my thing. And yeah, that's about it. I was trying to do some more sewing a little bit, but hey, bruh, that's what it is, right? Yeah, shit. If you watch like my other videos at all, I'm gonna try and start putting out at least one video a month. I'm not gonna do a lot of editing because that shit just sucks, bro. I like with a finished product, sure, but I just don't like sitting on my computer not being able to do shit else, and for something that I don't even really want to be like, oh, go check out my YouTube channel. I'm like, fucking yay, bro. The fuck? Wow, you do YouTube? I guess I'm not gonna be friends with you. You know what I'm saying? Wear these pants, bro. I can wear some pants, and if someone thinks they're sick, they'll be like, oh, that's sick. I'm like, hey, thanks. And like, I made him. And he's like, ah, sick. And then it's like, alright, bet. So they know I be fucking with that. But yeah, if I start popping off, I'll get an editor. But until then, this is the shit. Yeah. I'd never do this, but like personally on other people's videos. But hey, bro, hit that like button, hit the sub a dub. You know what I'm saying? And let me know what you think about this shit, right? And other than that, appreciate y'all. Bless y'all, baby. Sunday, bruh. I already know. Lord's Day. Blessed with the best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Bless y'all. Love y'all. Bang, bang. Gang, gang.